How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is actor, comedian, and the legendary Toronto Batman, Alex Brovedani.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on, everybody?
It's going good, man. Good to see you.
Good to be back.
I think, there was a little bit of trouble with the video.
Well, that happens.
From last time, so this is actually the second time we're recording.
That's how it works.
But I'm super happy you were down to do it because the first time was fun.
The first one was fun, yeah.
I think the last time we talked, I hadn't had my second dose of the vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated now, and you know what? I'm like, it might sound like I'm proud of that, but I'm really not. You know, I just felt like I was some test subject. Like when I went to get it, I was waiting in line. My turn came up, and they just asked me what I was there for, and I'm like, because I originally went to like Paramount Fine Food Center for the first one, and then I just went to a Shoppers, the second one, and just like, oh, I'm here for my lethal injection. And, like, the people laughed and whatever, and then fucking lady gave me, like, a clipboard with a form to fill out and a pen. And I went and sat down, and, like, the pen was all, like, leaking ink.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, obviously they're not going to say it, but I felt like with that little shitty joke that I made, she was just like, I'm going to give this guy the fucked up pen. And just kind of felt like I was set up a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know if they have a sense of humor there, but, it's... you gotta laugh. She got some ink on your hands, so fair is fair.
Did you have like any reactions because you're fully vaccinated?
The first one, I felt like I was in a coma for a week. I could barely do anything.
Really?
I did Uber Eats, and I would get tired really fast. A car actually hit my bike, and I didn't care. I was like, I had a date. I'm surprised my dick worked. Just like. Yeah, that felt like I was about to call the doctors, and then the next day I was healed. And then the second one, the first day again, my head was spinning, and I could barely form a sentence. Anything, like I remember the first day of the second dose, and the first day of the first one, I tried doing something I thought would be 10 minutes. To check the clock would be like an hour. I'm like, what? Because the next day I got a text like, did you have a stroke? And I'm like, no, I got the second vax. And I'm like, oh, and then. That wasn't good at all. But the second vaccine, I was up and at 'em the next day. So, but the first vaccine knocked me for a week.
Yeah, it was like the reverse. I just had like one day off of work. I felt a little bit, maybe like a quarter of what I felt this time. And it was within 24 hours. Like I couldn't sleep. I had like body aches. Like my back just hurt for 24 hours. Like I barely slept, man. I laid in bed for like over 24 hours just fucking laying in bed. I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't really sleep. It was fucking horrible, sweating.
It was I think the problem is it was advertised. You might feel some mild side effects. I'm just like, motherfucker, a week is not mild side effects. But
yeah,
essentially, I mean, I guess that's small potatoes in comparison to actually getting COVID. So, so that's that.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing a show at Comedy Bar coming up for your birthday?
For my birthday. It's going to be like a birthday like roast. I'm seeing how many people you have on stage to make it look like a roast and have people say, but it might be stand up with a little bit of roasting. Or like stand up with roasting. So because I think 2 or 3 is the maximum. So trying to figure that out with Tyler Morrison as a headliner, a head roast master. I haven't figured that out. But we'll put that in a way. So talk to him. Also Don Perret. So, and then a few others. Trying to get a female comedian, one that borrows money off me, pays back, but it's very funny. The other one that might have not like me as a friend anymore, but like I've tried to extend an olive branch. So. It's a little weird scenario. I mean, they're good people, and shit happens, right? But the comedy that borrows money off the time, but pays back Jenny Frederick, she's great. She's very funny. I was having an emotional breakdown. I still laughed at her stuff. So,
Have you done like a roast before?
They did one for Toronto Batman for my birthday 2012, which I bombed. I was awful.
You performed like wearing the suit and everything?
More or less, yeah. I spoke to myself and all that, and it sold out. It was great, but I was shit.
Yeah.
But I was an awful comic. I was out of my head back then. But I've done like the Heckle Show, The Danger Room, which has like kind of roast like, and I made fun of Dan Gyrie and Morgan O'Shea. So it'd be a challenge. I don't mind it, and I'll have cake and all that. Like I don't think I'll bomb. I just haven't done like roast like we're writing it specific to make fun of them, but I have made fun of people.
Yeah.
So we'll see that. We'll also have Mark McNally, who's he's been my friend, I guess. Sometimes he ignores me or something, but he's known me for a bit. And then Keith Andrews, and then we'll see who else. But yeah, so
should be good.
It's gonna the poster's getting made, and then I did a show there last night. Was all right. So go from there. I'm just not. I was telling someone I've been to the Comedy Bar since it's opened in 2007, maybe 30 times, if that. 20 times to perform and 10 times just hanging out. So I haven't been there a lot, surprisingly. Well, there's good reasons for that, but but yeah. And then last night the Comedy Records were doing their thing, and a whole bunch of people that would say hi and bye, and that's it. To me, so it's gonna be interesting. I was one of the few not wearing an orange shirt.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any orange shirts. So,
yeah, I know. I don't have any either.
It's I wear it at work, so but it was kind of interesting. But yeah, I got two girls that were talking, and they were talking about me while Instagramming me during the show. And then they asked for Kyle Lucy's information. And I'm just like, do you have his info? He already lives. I'm like, what the fuck? And then imagine if I asked this for a girl, I'll be banned in a minute. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, sure. What is happening? So I guess all those combustible items, and I invited them to my birthday show, so they're gonna come. And then it's gonna be fun with cake. I turned 40, and it's just I kind of want the girl. I don't know if she's my friend because she would really dig into me, just because that's the kind of chaos I guess I want for my 40th.
Yeah, it could be good.
But
could
yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Tyler Morrison's great. Tyler Morrison's one of the best roasters in North America, I'd say. So I
was like, I guess Chappelle is coming out with a new special.
Just found that out. Yeah,
and Closer. I was reading. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's gonna be like his final special. With a name like that, it seems like it could be. It would be a good name to go.
I think it's just to play off the term.
But yeah, like one of the things he said is just like a brief thing he said was basically saying that sometimes the meanest thing to say is the funniest, and he's not saying it to be mean, he's saying it to be funny. You know? Man.
I don't...
Some people don't get that.
No, they don't. The comedy safe space bullshit doesn't make any sense. I was just saying the last time I performed at the Comedy Bar, if I recall, was probably late January 2020. The festival of new format, so I did a riffing show and I hosted it. And one of my lines with we have to agree that koala bears are cute, fried or alive. And it was like not too long after the Australian fires, and I got an awe. I put uncensored on the poster, and they still awed the fucking thing. I'm like, what is? But I guess that's where I want to spend
People
my
birthday.
And you know what? And I love Gary Rideout. So like, it's all good. But like, I was like, man, it's such a weird thing. But that's the way my birthday is gonna be. A lot of awes. Last night was awe too. Like I did an abortion joke, no awes. But then what was a joke I got awed about? I fucking forgot. Oh, I did an awe about telling a birthday boy the closest he's gonna get to Batman is if I shoot your parents both right now, and they awed that, even though it's a joke. It's true. Like I'm not gonna fucking Batman how his origin was. I'm like fuck this man, but it's funny. I'm like I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll do it again. So
that's a good joke, people.
It is a good joke. I did the whole birthday thing. I do. I'm really not sure why some audiences go out to comedy knowing they'll be offended. And they don't really do an awe and then laugh. They just awe. And then I'm just like, why? And then I did a dark comedy contest there. Ian Atlas, right? I don't know if I should say his name, but like, and then they still odd jokes there. I'm like, you're at a dark comedy show and you're still offend. What is wrong with you people? Naturally, it was one of mine, but like, it's just it's a funny thing. So I can't wait for Dave Chappelle's thing. I think everything he touches is gold and stand up, even his earlier stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought his joke about if you didn't want to see a black Santa Claus, you want to get your present to the 28th or 29th. Santa had to go to Vegas, drop off some toys for the pussy or something like that, and I laughed my head off. And I think he's one of the few that was probably funny the first thing he said. So,
Yeah, he was doing it so young too, man, and
He
he
was.
was just
He
he was just a prodigy from the beginning,
Yeah, I've seen a few here do it and be a prodigy. I think Arthur Simeon, Jeff McHenry, John Keane, they all came out all around the same time. It was
You seen
really weird.
Chappelle perform?
At the the improv off Melrose. He did about 10 minutes material and then just took any questions or anybody that tried to leave he'd fuck around with. Like, he did like 2 hours or something. We still left. So,
Yeah, he seems like that kind of guy.
But yeah, it was great. And he smoked on stage, did whatever he wanted, broke the rules. And like, yeah, it was great.
The only concert or show that I've ever wanted to go to that I haven't gotten tickets to, and like, man, I've lined like back in the day before like you could buy tickets on the internet. I've lined up and done all this kind of crazy shit. And when Chappelle was coming to Toronto for I think he was doing a string of 5 shows. I don't know, it was 5 days. It might have been more than 5 shows, but 5 days in a row at Danforth Music Hall. And they were going on sale at noon one day, and I was like waiting at like 11:50. I had a bunch of different links for different days open, and it's the only show to this day that I've wanted to go to that I've never gotten to see him live.
So you didn't get a ticket?
I didn't get a ticket.
It was sold out?
Yeah.
How fast
And then
did it
tickets
sell
were
out?
like man, within like 5 minutes for sure. And like everyone was complaining that they like other people were complaining too that they went online and
like
people were saying
Comic-Con.
bots and all this kind of shit. And then like an hour later you see tickets like inflate like 10 times the price that they were originally.
You want to go?
I just didn't have that money, but man, if it came up now.
Yeah, man, that'd be something. I mean, I went to the Improv and then it was told he was gonna show up and then he did. I would suggest that would be the easier thing to do, but he didn't do like a show. Who else did I see that? I know my friend Dave Merhaj, when we were closer, you saw Chris Rock just show up at the Comedy Store and do it like a bunch of new material. I saw, not Lucy, I forget his name off the top of my head. He's like, oh, bitches, he does the nursery rhymes. I forgot. Hickory Dickory Dock.
Oh, is he from Half Baked? The white guy from Half Baked, the stoner?
No,
Jim Brewer?
No.
That's not him?
No, he was the guy he got banned from MTV for a while. You fucking Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse went up the clock. Whatever. It's just like this fucking I forget who. Not Louis C.K., but like he's an old school. He's like New Yorker. He would smoke. He would act like he was smoking on stage.
Fuck, I don't know.
And he had the leather jacket.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay?
Andrew Dice Clay, yeah. I got to see him at the Comedy Store.
That's pretty cool, man.
He was alright. I didn't I mean, it was like 2 a.m. They're just doing a bunch of shit. That's how I met Brody Stevens and all that. Steve Byrne, who's a fantastic comedian, Asian comedian, to put it that way. Shit like that. So I never really went to go look for tickets for comedians, but I would go do that. So I found that. Maybe I suck. I don't know. But, no, Louis C.K. was the only guy I bought for, and I bought it. Yuck Yucks within like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, when he was recently in Toronto?
2019, almost a year ago.
I wanted to go to that. They sold out really quick too.
I was on it as soon as comedians were complaining about it on Facebook, and I'm like, fine, I'll go get it. And that was funny. So I finished my season of 2 jobs, rickshawing and beer vending. My body's total, and I just spent a week doing whatever I wanted. I saw at chapter 2. I saw Joker 3 times. I saw him. I go there stone out of my fucking head, which is unusual. All comedians refused interviews, but the camera came up to me. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm seeing this fucking guy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like high out of my mind. All these people whining, like, I'm here, bitches, and like, you know, and he was amazing. I remember other comedians were shaking their head as you know, I did my shit. But yeah, and that was our last free fall, right? That was like the last 4 months of freedom until, you know, life got shut down. So.
Were you doing comedy before you started the Batman thing?
Yeah. I mean, I would go through spurts. I would be consistent and inconsistent. And then, yeah, I did it. And then I just, yeah, I was in the right frame of mind for a while. But, you know, about 2018, that's when I started, I would say, consistently having an act and knowing what I was doing, kind of.
Stand up?
Yeah, well, not just stand up with that. But yeah, for a while, like, I would go for months without stand up, and then, you know, go back to it and dip in and out. So, you know.
How did the Batman thing start?
I was insane. I had a Batman costume in 2005. I think I needed one I got put one for Halloween, and then I remember I was going to LA for the first time, and friends were like, don't bring your Batman costume. I'm like, you know what? If I go there, there's probably another Batman. We're all laughing, but there was on Hollywood Boulevard, and so I'm like, wow, I can take a picture for tips, and I was coaxed in this picture with Batman and Superman, and then I paid them both a couple bucks, and then, you know, I'm like, I can beat Batman, and come back, and then I remember telling the Superman, the original Batman on Hollywood Boulevard, Max, which I hope you're getting all the help you need, was in jail. So for a hit and run, so I'm like, I'm his replacement. I ran home and I got changed in my combat boots and my leggings, tights and all that. I came back out and then, you know, did that summer, and then he came back from jail, and a guy dressed as a knight, I forgot what a Robin Hood or one of the, or Cavill, I forgot what, and he goes, you should probably avoid him or something. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to him, Batman to Batman, and I go to Max. I'm like, look, I'm going back to Canada in a couple days, which was true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go anywhere you go, I'll go the opposite way. I don't mean in disrespect, which was true. And if I come back next summer, I'll have a round costume, which was also true. So we shook on it. And then a couple days I would see him like just jaw-jacking me. And I'm like, my paranoid, he's not doing that to me. And then one time I saw a shot of my pointy ears and I saw his pointy ears. I was like right there. I'm like, okay. So I'm walking back for he's definitely following me. I remember a girl dressed as Lady Fiona from Shrek, and then Puss in Boots, they were laughing at me. It was like, you have another Batman on following you. I'm just like, and they said his brain is in Gotham. He's no longer with us. And I'm just like, he hasn't said anything yet. So then I said one night, I was like, are you gay? Because you're almost on my ass. And that's okay if you are, but I don't say no. Yeah, Max. And then he goes, are you the tramp? He goes to a girl dressed as Snow White because she was dressed as Catwoman before. Mm-hmm. That brought him out. I'm like, you don't call her a tramp. And I was a little bit smaller, and like this is 15 years ago, so I look a lot younger. And then he goes, look at those boots. You know, I mean, you're my replacement. You're going to learn a hard lesson, buddy. And so then all of a sudden, he had Jason, Michael Myers, and Pinhead, and they're all telling me off. I had a guy dressed as one of the Blues Brothers, Captain Jack Sparrow, and Snow White, of all things. Or was it? I forgot who. And they're telling them off. And we're telling each other to fuck off in front of a full Friday night at Drummond's Chinese Theater, full crowd, and they're just watching. I remember this little black kid going back and forth, not knowing who to root for. He was losing his fucking mind. Then he took off, and then people were like, wow, you chased him off. And then one guy's like, I think he's getting a gun. I'm like, taxi, because I ain't taking that fucking chance. Yeah, he threatened Jimmy Kimmel. The thing is, everybody bigged him up. He took on 6 ninjas. I remember one, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then like, just the stupid things other characters would say. And God, some of them were great, and I loved them, but some of them were out of their fucking heads.
Wait, Max threatened Jimmy Kimmel?
Apparently he did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just scared him. It's just like, just imagine.
Was he ever a good Batman, or was he just kind of...
He looked like George Clooney.
Yeah.
He was just demanding a tip. He got arrested so much. You don't wait for the police to come to arrest him. That was the weird thing. He got banned from the whole zip code for a while. He's still on my Facebook somewhat. He said, keep up the comedy work and believe in the Lord, or like something like that. I'm like, okay. you know, all that stuff. He made a call out video, and I was twice on the list. Brovocop, which is, you know, and Toronto Batman on there. It was just like, he did a video where he was just training and he was just obsessed with, you know, I'm the real Batman and stuff. And, you know, there's videos of him in Vegas and he got his ass kicked and all that. He really believed that he was. And yeah, he intimidated the odd person. He was a little bit taller, but like, it was just like, it's just nothing. It was just like, you know, like Godfather Part 2. He's nothing. Just shoot him twice in the fucking chest and the face, whatever. You don't have to do that. But like, just, I suppose, so like, yeah, he got banned when I was, and I found out when I was planning on coming back, because there was a strike going on, and he used reporters on. Apparently that's not allowed, and he threatened a whole bunch of them. The cops came, and the rest of them, and they gave him a fucking, and they banned him for real. And he got a tooth knocked out in jail. So like, you know, he had all that. Like, he just, I don't know what he wanted at what point he was proving, and then it was just, you know.
Was he actually like trying to fight crime, or was he just?
No, because I mean on there, I guess, but like he was just. I don't know. I don't know his day to day. It's just that all I know is he had a temper and he threatened people, and he's talked a lot of shit. On Confessions of a Superhero, he talks to a shrink and says that he murdered people and buried them, and we're just like, motherfucker, like you're lying. You know, this is good TV, but it's lying. I have an autographed copy from it from the Superman, Christopher Dennis, and I hope he's resting in peace. But he was out of his head for a while, and then, you know, it was a sad thing. It was like watching people decay, literally. And, you know, I don't want to wish any of them harm and stuff like that. I definitely don't want to troll Max anymore. I did a couple times, but it wasn't like that hard. And the guy he was banned for 5 years. He was back on the boulevard the day he was unbanned. He was waiting. And, you know, he came out there as Batman, and then he left to go to Vegas in a couple days, and then, you know, that was it. And then, you know, he would release these videos that were just fucking, the monstrosity that was his brain.
Yeah, so I've seen some of, like, obviously the Toronto Batman videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, was there... I know you're a big wrestling fan. And that's like, they're very like wrestling-esque, you know? Did it ever cross your mind to like maybe like have you ever thought about being a wrestler? Maybe. Yeah. I know you do like some sort of MMA. What do you do? Muay Thai?
I've been training Muay Thai. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before I was asked not to come back.
Why?
Conflict of interest. I was very depressed last year, and so I was coaxed into going to an MMA school, and unfortunately there was a girl that I used to date that led to depression. I actually tried hiding in that class behind like a column and shit facing the wall. Alex turned around, let's take your time, and I'm like, fuck! And then, like, that was what revealed me.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I grew some facial hair, maybe you should, you know. And BJJ is fine if you supplement with another thing, but it's good cardio. But no fights begin was like, all right, let me get into a guard. Like, you know, it's just so that was okay. And I like Muay Thai. I did some Krav Maga. I grew up with martial arts and karate and an abusive sensei, beyond abusive, I should say. And you know, that's what probably caused my brain to make some weird judgments. You know, and it didn't turn out too bad. I mean, Toronto Batman was like, that's the worst of it. Could have been a lot worse.
I don't think, from my point of view, that doesn't seem like it should be something you're like. I'd be proud of it. You did a lot of good as well. There's some bullshit attached.
People look down at you, like they look at you like this freak of nature. And even if you retire and all that, and like I'm wearing this shirt now because we put the CM Punk in the we call it Bat Punk, and I just liked it. And all that, but like, yeah, and I accept those faults. I made a lot of kids happy, and I did a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, maybe it was more athletic earlier in my life. I think it's a little linear now. I'll do wrestling training. I think I could probably cut a promo. Mm-hmm. I've done a few bumps. I've taken a jackknife, and all that. But yeah, I think that I just remain a fan. Yeah,
you'd have to be pretty fucking big. You're a big dude, you know how.
I wasn't big before, and I'm still not that big. I'm actually kind of fasting right now. I only had a protein shake earlier. Vega.
That had to be some fucking painful shit. Was it on like a mat?
Or... I was in a ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In a ring.
Yeah,
I gave a sharpshooter later.
Pardon?
I took a stunner too. Well, I know I didn't. I was just jumping back. I was like laying down and then give me a hell yeah, and then hopefully he doesn't beat up your wife. All right, a little bit too far. Hey, Dark Side of the Ring. I think you're missing an episode or something.
Fucking great show, dude.
It's a great show. My friend Kenny Codino is I think he's one of the cameramen. He's great. He pushed me to audition for a reenactment and as Lance Storm, who got me into working out Lance Storm because I think he's fantastic. And he didn't cast me there. We were talks about did one of the detectives and still didn't get it. I'm like, why am I? All right, cool. And then, but I watch it. I think it's great. I was beginning to watch this week's one, FMW. But yeah, just great all around.
I haven't watched this week's yet. Damn.
It's been painful to relive because, you know, I remember where I was when Owen died. I remember where I was when the Benoit. That's what actually led me to go to LA for a while. I thought I had a series of concussions. Maybe not a series as Benoit, but enough that it caused me to think, could this be me? Could I be a monster? Is this, you know, all that stuff? And I eventually had material about Benoit on stage, which I didn't do when I opened for Dolph Ziggler. Thank goodness. That would have wrecked me. Or they would have wrecked me, or both. But the funniest was, I'm in LA Fitness in LA, I think it's August. And my friend starts saying, it's The Miz. And he goes, oh, my buddy's... Yeah. So he goes, oh, my buddy's from Canada. He goes, oh, who's your favorite Canadian wrestler? I'm like, Chris Benoit. And it's just like a month or so after. He's like, no, I'm like, yeah, but he's still a better wrestler than you. So, you know, it was just psycho. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe. I don't mind somewhat of The Miz, but like, you know, and Benoit was amazing. I thought, you know, he had a great work ethic. I thought he was a more roided up version of Lance Storm, who was another product of the Canadian Dungeon. But, yeah, I'm also, like, I'm not that tall, and a lot of the, like, Lance Storm's taller and bigger than me, and, like, a whole bunch of them, so I thought I had no chance and all that stuff, but now the times have changed. But, yeah, they're great. You know, getting Finn Balor, Prince Devitt to sign one of my Bullet Club tanks was awesome, and, you know, I love wrestling and all that. I was supposed to do something with Super Kick, this Toronto Batman, but we couldn't agree to a couple things, and then, yeah, I think my ego got in the way at the time.
No, they're good. My favorite independent wrestler is their champion right now.
Nice, there you go. Good stuff, man.
I'd like to see that fucking Toronto. Was it supposed to be like?
I was supposed to throw a punch, and I asked her pitch, and then like I was just obsessed with getting gigs, and I probably could have worked it out a little different talking to Ashley, and I apologize, but I was, you know, in my own head.
Hey man, shit happens. You live and you learn, right? Mm-hmm. Don't always make the best decision. If you could go back, would you still be Toronto Batman?
I don't know. I think I would have focused on stand-up. I would probably got an agent. I wouldn't have done a few things. The LA stuff, no. But it's like, you know, I still remember the first day and talking to the girls, dating and friends. I'm like, there's no going back once, you know, I do this here. Doing it in LA, and you can kind of escape from here, but you do it back home, then it's all going to get out, and then that's it. And before you know it, like, you're fucked. Not fucked, but like, it's such a weird scenario. So, you know, I take the good with the bad. I've had conversations. Someone's like, "Aren't you Toronto Batman?" And then you see the people looking in front of them, what the fuck? And then, or they just look at you like you know, like pull a fucking here's Johnny, and then just go crazy. And I'm like, and then you just walk out of the conversation, and then you know. So it's an interesting thing. So.
The rewarding parts, though. You gotta, like, because I know you've done some, like, kid stuff for kids and stuff like that. Yeah, I look
back at that, that's cool, but it's just, like, even that, like, I remember having to go to the washroom a couple times, and, like, the organizer complaining, why are you going to the washroom? And I get Like, why?
Did you actually have a zipper in the suit, or was it the whole
No,
thing?
you have to take it on. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of take off the pants, but if you want, like, full body movement, you fucking take off the whole thing. And then, it was just, yeah, I did the best I could. I don't, like, and I'll probably do the odd charity thing in the future. I'm going to buy more bat suits when I get the money and do that when I can, but, we'll see what's, we'll see what's available. There's sometimes I wish I picked something lighter than a bat suit, but it was what it was, and I got some great photos out of it, and a lot of people sometimes in Hollywood Bowl be treated like a celebrity, and then here was so too, but here we are now, and today.
You mentioned I heard you say Brovocop. Like Max referred to you as Brovocop. Were you like?
I used to go by fully Brovocop. They just call me Brovocop, and then I got short from the Brovo. I got called Brovocop back in college, and then I was like, "This is." And I don't know why I thought it was cool, but I was so immature, and and I went. But then again, like the early 2000s and 90s, people were like, "You fucking say one thing against the grain," and people were like, "What the fuck? This guy's a psycho. This guy is so weird." I'm like, you have to do everything the same to fit in. That's what I thought.
When I hear it, I think it could be like a pretty funny, like comedy sketch. To be honest, like a little skit.
Yeah, for sure.
Something on
I think Bro was fine. But yeah, Brovocop was like pushing it.
Are you still doing the acting business?
I got to get an agent, but I'm getting into a cool behind the scenes job in IATSE for film, and then I want to shoot a proof of concept, so I don't want to stretch myself too thin. If there's something you could do, like I took a series of two acting classes during the pandemic via Zoom, and one I got called a racist, which was really weird, but for improving the scene of an asshole cop, and then it kind of like depressed me. I filmed some skits. I put one on Instagram. I did some more. Did a sarcastic kids show. So I don't know if I want to I mean, I wouldn't mind a bucket list, but just say I was an acting. But I don't know if I'm gonna be living on the couch and eating croutons, like kind of acting until I get something. But I'm in talks to get an agent. But the proof of concept film I want to work on, and then I'll act in that kind of deal. I did play Dexter in Batman vs. Dexter fan film, which got 67,000 views. I did a death match, which I was in, did some stunts, and then this torture kind of short we did. A horror torture, whatever you want to call it. And then that was cool. Ripped someone's nose off, that kind of shebang. So I hope, I'm wondering if I should just make a more filmmaker that acts kind of like Eli Roth or Quentin Tarantino kind of deal. And then, so yeah.
Eli Roth. What's the last movie he came out with?
I don't know. I'm not his biggest follower. I know he did the Green Inferno.
Oh shit, dude, that was nuts.
Him being in Inglourious Bastards, did his job. He did the Grindhouse. The one with the zombies. I forget that was. I know. Death Machine was the other. It was a double feature, and a Hostel he directed.
Yeah, that was.
And Hostel too.
Yeah,
it was good for what it's worth, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, I'm gonna get an agent. We're gonna see, but it won't be. I know it's not gonna be a complete bread and butter kind of deal. But filmmaking, I have some great ideas that I rather put my energy into that. So.
Do you know Kevin Spencer? Not the show.
Kenny?
Like a comedian. He's your age. He's from Hamilton. He's doing a web series starting to film right now called 24 Kevin. And so I'm gonna do a little I guess cameo on that.
I acted in a few web series, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Dexter was the biggest one, and I funded that myself, and that was cool. And then it was a good crash course, and I got a little film team and worked in both. And the torture one too. So, I can't wait to fund that, the proof of concept from working at IATSE, and then film that when I can. So for a couple of years.
Yeah, I always felt like I kind of didn't have and to be honest, I never really gave it much acting. much thought, but I've always wanted to do voice acting, like something for a cartoon or a video game or something like that.
I've been told to do that too. Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be something more up my alley. I like doing weird voices, you know. And
nothing wrong with that. Put it together a package. See what you can do.
Yeah,
there's lots of work for that.
Especially in Toronto, and they're building.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft is
in Toronto, actually not far from where I live. Yeah.
Oh, for real, eh? Mm. I wasn't even thinking.
I deliver food to them. Uber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, I have a couple left. These little Japanese snacks. You remember them from
yes,
the first time? I'm gonna pick these Kit Kats. They've just been sitting there.
I'm gonna pick this one then.
I'm not sure what flavor these are.
See if this fully.
Just has like a city. I guess it's an ice cream cone because it's a city on a fucking ice cream cone.
It says ban, and I can't read the rest of the words, but it has a duck who's kicking a soccer ball.
Let's see, a duck who's kicking a soccer. That's delicious, you know. And it has a duck kicking a fucking soccer.
Oh, nice. It was good hangover food.
Sweet, light, crunchy snack. That's all it says. Okay, way to fucking explain to... What do they even have this for if it's just going to say that? I guess it's just ice cream flavored. Japanese definitely have weird packaging. Oh, I guess there's like different colors. Alright, I'm going to take a blue one. First.
I'll take a purple one.
Are they sweet?
Yeah, a tint
greasy.
of sweet. I don't know if I call it greasy. Yeah, you've been leaving this for a while. Looks like it's fermented in the fucking package.
No, really, it's only been probably, I don't know, a month and a half.
Pick me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
But they fucking come from Japan, so, you know, maybe it was hot one day. They're really soft. Like, is it actual ice cream? Was I supposed to put it in the freezer?
No, but keep it in a cooling environment. But you're cool, so apparently not cool enough.
You know what? They're alright. I feel like they're too sweet.
You don't like the sweetness?
No, I think that, like, I like a little bit. I wouldn't say, like, I'm not that person who likes dark chocolate. I like milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is too chocolatey.
That's a healthier version.
What, dark chocolate? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure it is. Just doesn't taste as good, though.
Well, nothing healthy tastes too good. Usually.
It depends, you know. Especially you can put like really unhealthy shit in a smoothie and it tastes fine. Depending on the other things you put in it. That's like if I really want to get some, you know, nutrients.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Let's start off our top five.
Yeah.
Batman villains. You can go first.
So the Penguin, which has always been interesting. I like the wah kind of deal, or if you're sinister, just drew me to it. Second would be Joker, just because I always
Joker.
The
Gotta have
fourth on your brain.
Who's your favorite Joker?
Remember this? It's gonna have to be Heath Ledger, and it's not by much. Like I like Jack Nicholson a lot. Love Joaquin Phoenix, even though most of it he's not really the Joker.
Would you like to see a part 2 of that?
Of course. I think there's something there. It's a good introspective study on a character and a good classic tale. And it is feel like a mix of movies of Taxi Driver and the comedian. Or was it the comedian? Or what was it? What was it called? The one with Robert De Niro. What is it called? The comedian? I forgot.
I think it is.
Yeah, and so classic retelling of that mixed with, I think it's like the Joker version of Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. So.
And it could go like, even if, and here's the thing, like, you know, obviously you'd want to see Joaquin Phoenix, but the way it ended, he's not necessarily actually Joker, you know? That's what I got from it, you know? He
is in their way, in that reality. I mean, it also feels like
Bruce is a kid, right?
Yeah, well.
So what I got from it was like he just
disbelief.
Inspired.
I don't care Joaquin Phoenix's real age. He could, as far as I can tell, he could be like 24 in that. As far
Yeah,
as I'm
yeah.
concerned. I don't care about that. And then like, yeah, and then just something in your mind, impressionism. So we'll see what comes out of that. The other, he could be the prototype for the actual Joker coming later.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But I don't think they could pull it off. So I mean, that movie was fantastic.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt great.
Great movie.
Yeah, fantastic. It's almost 2 years. I can't believe that. I still remember the trailer came out and all that. So I remember. Yeah, it was just great. So third is going to be Victor Zsasz. I always thought it was interesting and just his characteristic of scarring himself for every victim he stabbed, all that. And I thought that little cameo Batman Begins was great. And the one in Gotham was all right. But yeah, just interesting. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Birds of Prey.
Horrible in Birds of Prey. Horrible. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, but that's not going to kill off a character for me.
No, definitely not. It was just, out of all the versions you just mentioned, that's my least favorite.
Yeah. So
the video game was even better.
Video game was great, and he did he sounded like he's doing nursery rhymes in the way he talks and all that. So fourth, we're gonna have Harley Quinn. Just my favorite cosplayed villain. Just fantastic, and I think Mr. J, it's all great. And I thought like having a sidekick for the Joker, companion or whatever you want to call it, that was the perfect fit by far. So and I thought Margot Robbie did an excellent job too. But there were people clamoring to see her in a movie for a long time, right? This is since '92, so and created the animated series, fantastic. And then we're gonna wrap it up with Mr. Freeze, just really awesome to just tell someone in the whole robotic version and sympathetic villain. You can actually probably one of the more sympathetic ones
you feel
out there.
For him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but and he's cold, no pun intended, and calculative, and just got these cool gadgets. And when I see Mr. Freeze cosplay, and you put these different spins on it, is really really cool. And I've seen some people do, for sure.
Seems difficult.
Chill. Looking back, it's hard to smile. Not even smile about that. Exactly. It's hard not to smile when thinking about that, even though that was campy at the time. But still, So what they did with him in Arkham City and Arkham Knight was great as well.
I didn't even mind him in Gotham.
I did not. He was very quick. It was a little short one, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, my number one is Joker. For sure. My number 2 is Talon.
Yeah.
Riddler. My number 3. Who's playing him in the new Batman again?
I forgot his name, but he looks
like
like Zodiac. That's all. People picture the Zodiac. I think that's going to be very interesting. But obviously, we have to wait beyond the trailer. But what they showed in the trailer was fantastic.
How do you feel about Pattinson playing Batman? How do you feel about Edward from Twilight playing Batman?
I think it's great. It's fine. He's an actor, and they finally show a guy with the black makeup. I think, going back to, a Batman-focused story, and the problem with Batman vs Superman was too much in a movie, and then obviously Justice League, but that's what they wanted, and you're gonna have it's gonna be great. I find, the trailer was just amazing. You got Nirvana, and then that was great. That blew my mind, and my load.
Number 4, Catwoman.
Yeah, and great. Yeah, love Catwoman.
Number 5, Arkham Knight.
It's such an interesting one because that, other than the comics, you only see him in the video game, and it's just Robin. As far as I'm concerned,
they Red did Hood, do a brief run.
It was just it was not too long. The Arkham Knight comics, those are the comic tie-ins to the video game.
Yeah.
They have those. That was it. And then he's Robin. It was too. I felt that was kind of shoehorned. But there's good things about that video game for sure. You can watch the cutscenes like a movie or anybody watching. Yeah. So if you don't want to play the game, you just want to watch.
One of the best stories ever in a video game, if not the best. I think the whole trilogy.
Yeah, all of it together is great. Yeah. And Arkham Origins is pretty good too.
I enjoyed it. You know, it's my least
Arkham,
favorite, but
I would
I
a lot
liked
of
it. I
people's
played it.
favorites. A lot of people like that more than Knight because
I like
Knight.
the online stuff with Origins.
Yeah, you could be Dick Grayson, Robin. You could co-op. But it's canceled now. So yeah, I can't wait to when I start making good money. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of that. I haven't played too many video games in a long time, so you know.
Well,
I did Arkham City.
They haven't. Yeah, there's a new one I guess coming out. A new. It's not Batman. I think it's called Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights, yeah, Gotham Knights and
Suicide Squad
Killed the Justice League, which does take place in the world of Arkham, the Arkhamverse. So
okay.
That's and it's coming
great.
up the DC Globe or Fan Globe or fandom
fandom.
They'll show more of that because Arkham Knights was already supposed to be out, but at this point, they're gonna Gotham Knights, so it's gonna be pushed back. In that game, like it feels like an RPG if I'm not mistaken, but it's a lot of co-op, and there's something to do with the Robins and they switch out the uniforms and like I don't know. There's something that seems off, but I have to watch for more. But if you want to play a video game, I have a hard time believing Batman won't be making an appearance in that. But if you want to play a video game, it seems like just the sidekicks, that would be the one. Yeah.
All right, let's go superheroes next.
Mm-hmm. So, Batman. Not number one's Tim Drake Robin, just my affinity nostalgia growing up. Mm-hmm. I have a huge Robin collection of stickers of all the logos and a decent amount of toys. It's freaky, but specifically Tim Drake. So I guess that includes the Red Robin and his return. And Drake, I can't believe that.
He actually did a small run as Batman Beyond, too.
Who, Tim?
Yeah.
I don't think he was Batman Beyond, though. He was in it, like you see him in the movie Return of the Joker, but
no. Okay, so do you remember New 52?
Yes.
Okay, so New 52 came out, and then they had a series attached to it called Future's End, right? And there was like a whole bunch of one shots related to like each character, basically like kind of foreshadowing or whatever.
I know he was Batman
5 years down the road.
I know he became Batman. And some off storyline.
So this story, like the Future's End story, was like 5 years after the beginning of New 52 takes place, and Terry McGinnis dies, and then fucking Tim Drake picks up.
I can see that.
He does that for a bit. I thought that was cool.
I know he was Batman at one point, but I didn't know that. So thanks for schooling me.
Definitely interesting, man. Check it out. It's a good series too.
It is interesting. I just felt like the DC Comics of Bastard. He's back to being 16. So my favorite look of his was the Arkham City Robin. I thought he looked pretty badass, had the hood and all that, which I had the costume, and I have it signed by Kevin Conroy.
Nice.
So, yeah,
nice.
United and all that. I got to meet the man himself. So number 2 is Batman for sure. Obviously, that goes without saying. Just fantastic character, and just it's hard not to like him. Obviously, Rebirth, that logo and a little bit of purple was like interesting, but they brought the trunks back and all that. So yeah. So third would probably be Wolverine, because I'm a toxic straight white male. I gotta like that. But just like I even like the animated the gold look, gold black or golden blue, great, and then the Hugh Jackman look was great too. So I have the cowl from the anime series too, Jim Logan, who's unfriended me on Facebook. Thank you for some reason. I have zero clue, and people told me not to even be friends with you, and you removed yourself. So, fuck you, good sir. Sean Reeves, who's made my other Batman cows. I love you, sir. You are my boy. I should have bought off you, but yeah. So number 4 is gonna have to be the Punisher. I just think Frank Cat. I just think again, straight up badass kind of looking motherfucker. And just and I have dog tags for Logan and Frank. Just great. I like
Punisher is probably my favorite of the Marvel shows.
So my favorite was season 2 of Daredevil, which included Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great, but I liked season 1. I'm just not a big binging guy, but I will try that again. I think I'm gonna get a Netflix. Because it's October now, I get it for my birthday. Why not? I'll watch that Peaky Blinders, or is it still on Netflix? I don't fucking
Peaky
know.
Blinders? I don't watch
No,
it.
that's on there, but I'm not sure if they took the Marvel stuff off.
Oh, yeah, I don't know either.
So yeah, definitely out there. So, and then number 5, we're gonna say Superman. I just grew up, loving him. And when I dress as Superman, people believe in your face, and you can show strength and all that. It's really great, and the John Williams score is just fantastic. And I liked a lot of the I liked Henry Cavill, and hopefully he still has time as Superman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fuck
you, Joe.
You didn't like him?
Well, yeah, he didn't like Cavill. He doesn't like Cavill.
What does Joe know?
It's my favorite Superman for sure.
Obviously, Christopher Reeve's iconic, but it's for the time and place, and that it didn't do you can't recreate that. You need it a little bit more modern. Of course, it's not just the good old American Boy Scout anymore. So, and I like to show Superman and Lois, and not Lois and Clark. That was too romantic or whatever. Mm-hmm. Superman Returns, I followed
Lois and Clark. That was the one with Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
I enjoyed that one though.
He's busy talking about Jesus and conservatism now, but I didn't mind it. It was okay, but I haven't watched it too much. It was just it was way different. The Superman and Lois is better. And it deals with family issues, but it's also because the graphics are decent these days and mm-hmm. technology's better. You can pull that shit off a little bit more, So, yeah, I watched the making of Superman Returns. Released these vlogs. And that was the first vlogs I remember ever watching, and I had a lot of faith in Bryan Singer. I have a picture with him, and then allegations later are a little different, but I thought. The reason this cam called the Genesis cam, which wasn't known, and I was just amazed, and all the work they put into how to make them fly, and the updated, and of course the movie is somewhere in the middle, but yeah, I just love that. So
was that 5? That was 5.
That was 5.
Yeah, my first Batman for sure. Second, Red Hood. Arguably could be in a different. Could be a villain or any
He's
hero,
an
whatever you want to consider him. Arsenal, number 3. I'm a big fan, especially reading the comics. I just find those stories are more interesting. And I for some reason I tend to lean away from big groups when I read comics.
Is he still missing an arm?
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
See, he's for disabled. He's a good guy. He's very inclusive.
But I find the group Justice. Don't get me wrong. I have some Suicide Squad, Justice League, X-Men, and stuff like that. But I feel those comics. I enjoy the more singular superheroes, just because there's more time to tell more story, and the humans are better because they just have, they risk more. I think that was pointed out in Batman versus Superman. Too. I think the first time it was pointed out live action. Which I actually really liked. I thought the thing that fucking hurt it was expectations. And I'm kind of on the fence now too because I'm going to see Venom, the new one, tonight later. And
hey man,
first one, I was very skeptical about because I'm okay, how are you doing it without Spider-Man? And so I didn't really have expectations. If I did, they were really, really super low. I didn't think it was going to be good, but I had to see it because it's part of my shit. And saw it, was quite blown away. I think it's actually a really great movie. And now I actually have expectations. I'm not sure how I feel about Woody playing Carnage. Carnage is just such a beloved character that it's
Woody's such a great actor though.
He is, right? I know. It was weird seeing him originally with that red wig and stuff, though. I just felt weird, but I mean, he could pull it off. I think he could pull it off.
You're talking about from that one scene in the prison?
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
And I was I don't know how I feel about the hair, but I mean, again, it's just hair. It doesn't mean he's not going to do a good job in the role. But now I have expectations, so I'm trying to, shoo them away a little bit, if you would say that. But I'm kind of excited for it. So Arsenal's my number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is my number 4. And Shazam is my number 5.
Shazam!
Yeah. I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan too, but it's hard for me. I'd say Raphael's my favorite Ninja Turtle, but like I'd want to put them in. Yeah? Fuck yeah, man. All right. You said Tim Burton was your favorite director.
Yeah, so we can Tarantino go up there too.
Tarantino, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll stick with Burton. Yeah.
I would say Nolan is probably mine, but we can go through top 5 Tim Burton movies.
So yeah, Batman Returns, Batman '89, or that's what fans call it, or Batman. It's in there. It's funny how that name came up there. I just love Mars Attacks. I think it's fantastic. Edward Scissorhands. Just it's so colorful, and it's just like it's romantic. It's like sympathetic. I'm like, what the fuck am I? It's such a weird thing, and you can't forget it. And Beetlejuice, 100%.
Hell yeah.
I still sing Day-O to myself now and then, but like Michael Keaton grabbing his crotch, go, you call that a fucking model? And like,
yeah.
This is great. This is, yeah.
I remember renting Beetlejuice, like, when VHS was around and you could actually go to video stores and stuff.
Free popcorn on Jumbo Video.
Pretty much every weekend that was like, you get 3 movies for 3 nights or whatever the fucking, deal was.
Video games
and that was always part of it.
Yeah, those were back in the days.
Actually, I think most of those except for Edward Scissorhands. My number 1's Batman. Number 2's Beetlejuice. Number 3's Batman Returns, which was kind of hard. I just kind of, basically for the reason I just said, I rented it so much. I've seen it probably like 3 or 4 times more than I've seen Batman Returns. So that's why Batman Returns is number 3. Mars Attacks, number 4. And The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Another fantastic one.
Yeah.
I would say it would make there if it wasn't for other movies. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas is great. I mean, the fact that he's made like 2 off Christmas films is great. I guess Nightmare Before Christmas could also be Halloween too. Would you say it's
I would say more Christmas, yeah.
But a little Halloween.
For sure. I feel like eventually it's
nobody's calling Batman Forever a Halloween movie, and it does take place during Halloween, if you guys recall.
Well, Christmas? Batman Returns?
Batman Forever takes place in Halloween.
Oh, Batman Forever.
Yeah. Remember they come up trick-or-treating?
Batman Forever. Jim Carrey is my favorite part about that. I think he would be a great Joker as well. I know he did that, and he's probably not trying to go back into that world, but I think he would be a great Joker, man.
We're going to see who the next one is. Maybe, fucking Robert Pattinson should have a Joker, right? So, we'll see. We'll see indeed.
Comedians. Top 5.
It's hard to do that, but Dave Chappelle's number 1. I think Bill Burr's number 2. Number 3's Brody Stevens, just because of my affinity for him. Number 4, Bill Hicks.
Does Stevens have like a large body of work, like any specials that I could check out? I don't know.
I
just seen clips.
On YouTube. Yeah, I think they did one. It wasn't. I don't know where it wound up, but he did one. He was supposed to have his own show, and he did. Something happened to his website, and it's now to TVs in India. It's really weird, fucking whatever. But I'm about to buy a T-shirt. But you can see a bunch of stuff on YouTube. And then Bill Hicks, and number 5 would probably be Chris Rock.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to say, but yeah, he's up there. And just great guys. And then, as a bonus, George Carlin for sure.
Yeah.
Just because he was smart as fuck. What about you?
All right. Rogan's my number 1. You don't like Rogan?
I didn't get the jive of him as a comedian, but I'm only one person. I'm only a brick.
Hey, that's fair enough. That's the thing, it's everyone's not gonna find everybody funny, and that's cool.
Yeah. And me.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of his. I've seen him his first huge stadium show. I was there.
Wow.
It was originally supposed to be Ricoh Coliseum. I think it's now Coca-Cola Coliseum or some bullshit. Yep. And so they went on strike for some reason. I'm not exactly sure of all the details, but they had to move his show to ACC. And I already had tickets, more tickets went on sale, and Yeah, it was pretty wild. I think there was 10,000 people there, and that was like the most people he ever did at that time. He's been doing like stadium shows with Chappelle now, so I imagine it's gotten bigger, but it was a record for him at the time. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chappelle is my number 2. I feel like he's got to be. How can you? If you don't appreciate Dave Chappelle, you most likely don't know shit about stand-up comedy.
Just perfect timing.
I mean, number 3 is Mark Forward. Comedian from Oakville. Yeah. Gonna go see him in December. Trying to get him on the monthly show for sure. That would be like a dream.
Where you see him in December?
At Comedy Bar.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. And last time I saw him, he does like a Christmas show pretty much every year there. And so that's what it'll be. Last time it was hilarious. It was like 2.5 hours. The ending, it was supposed to end, and then he just he kept re-singing one song like for fucking half hour. It was ridiculous. It kind of went on for too long, but then it was like funny again, and he just is always
I can see him doing that.
He's always killing it, man. Number 4, George Carlin, fucking conductor from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, just I forget amazing. He does that half the time. But
right.
But like I was just watching his whole bit on cultural issues, and he ends up like talking about like instead of voting, just staying home and masturbating. I was like, at least I have something to show for it, folks.
So many specials too, man. Like he killed it. In a time where people weren't releasing specials that often, he was just ahead of his time, I think.
Yep.
And number 5, Bill Burr.
I was saying it's fantastic. Everything he touches is gold as well. It's just he's definitely a prodigy. It's like, and I like that whole thing, and he does his voice, and yeah, it's like it was a perfect joke. It said, "We like our beer like we like our abuse, domestic."
Yeah.
And it was a perfect joke.
It's a great
joke. I was just laughing thinking about it, but yeah, it was great. And then I'll say another. I haven't seen too much of his stand-up, but his tour is very funny. Tim Dillon. I'm kind of a big fan. And Tim Robinson, another one growing up. And Tom Papa.
Tim Robinson, I know.
It was great. All these T's.
Tom Papa,
yeah, Tim Dillon's, his last tweet goes, my friend's kid is in grade 2 and had COVID, so they executed him in front of the class. Yeah. This is great. Great.
And we'll end with current wrestlers. Do you want to do AEW wrestlers? No, let's just do current wrestlers.
Let's do current wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I'll try to remember what I did before, and it's a little tough, but number 1, I'm gonna have to say CM Punk, and I'm wearing my shirt just because I missed his promo so much, and his match, the 2 matches he had to come back were great.
Mm-hmm.
They're fantastic. Number 2 is gonna be Jay White from. He's also appeared on Impact, but New Japan Pro Wrestling and the Bullet Club. I think like his promo and his look and the way his facials and all that. 3 is Evil. I like his shirts, and I like just his look and the fact that he can barely speak English, and he does this and starting the House of Torture, and he does look evil. He's probably one of the few to scare me. Number 4 will have to be Bryan Danielson. I think he came out to a great ovation and a great match, Kenny Omega, and
that was a phenomenal match.
It was a phenomenal match, most indeed. And number 5 are going to be Adam Cole. Just because, he still have a great match, and the whole baby, and he gets just everything into it. And, like, he stood on his own between all those debuts. So, most of that was AEW. So
he's growing on me, I'll be real. I saw NXT a few years ago. And he was there, and that was like my introduction kind of to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't a super big fan. I think maybe it was just the match. Someone else, I can't remember who he was wrestling. I think it was like a 4-way match. Anyways, but he's really been doing a good job on AEW. And I feel like as much as the fans love him, it's like they're so just into the wrestling and know where they have to be and what they have to do that, they cheer him and they do the baby thing when he comes out and all that shit, and then like 5 minutes later, or a couple minutes later, he's talking shit and they're booing him and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know, he's definitely I'm warming up to him. My number 1 is MJF. I'm a big I say I prefer the heels, and he's just, I think, the best right now. Actually, so Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, they have that Rhodes to the Top show.
Yeah.
Are you gonna check that out?
No.
No, eh?
No.
Okay, so
I have very little time to chill on my own. That's not how I'm going to spend it. And I met Cody. Like, he's a lovely dude.
You had,
picture of me as Robin. I had
that's
the plastic,
sick.
the paper bag on my face. No, yeah, that's too much mental masturbation right there. So, no.
Yeah, like I feel, like I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just all this behind the scenes.
It's turned him into a heel.
Oh, yeah. You know, I seen that coming a bit ago. You know, as soon as the feud with Malachi started, I was like, oh, this is where it's going. You know?
Well, not exactly. It's just that the fans, it was too much. And you're not Triple H. And why are you doing, like, you know, but if that's the plan, that's cool. That's all right. So.
But the show, I found, like, it's like a 45-minute show.
Oh, you watch it?
I watched the first episode. Yeah. But it's like, dude, I'm telling you, it's just a lot of behind-the-scenes shit with AEW.
I'll give it a chance.
And so there's like this brief clip you see of MJF, you know, where he comes in and they found out that they're having a baby or whatever. Maybe they did the announcement on Dynamite that night or whatever. And he comes in and he's saying something nice, and then he notices that they're being filmed by, like, you know, the crew for that show. And then he automatically turns on the gimmick and he's fucking shitty MJF again. I fucking just love how much he owns the character. Eddie Kingston, number 2. Ray Phoenix, who's probably the only he's the only tag team wrestler, really. I guess Eddie Kingston you could say now, but every time I see him, he does something I haven't seen before. Same with Pentagon, but I just like Ray a little more.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Darby Allin, I'm excited for his feud with MJF. You know?
He's so skinny, but he's definitely interesting.
He does, you know, what he needs to do. He kind of is like the proof that, you know, especially in AEW, like, size does not matter. Even pretty much
sometimes it looks weird, man. That match we had, Brian Cage, and the guy's like 150 pounds bigger than the other guy.
Yeah.
And I like Darby better than Cage. And Cage, please stop whining on Twitter. It doesn't look good.
Was he lying on Twitter?
No, whining. Sorry.
Oh, whining.
Him and his wife. Whining, you put like something stupid like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Would they fight on Twitter?
No, they're like going off on Tony Khan for not giving him a push. I'm just like, why are you doing that?
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Huh. Like, I didn't know that.
Steroids doesn't necessarily make you better, and you should be happy with the position you got. But,
yeah, that's not how you want to go at it, man.
No.
You're definitely not, like, you're not popular enough to do something like that, you know?
No. So who's your next one? Was that 5?
And Britt Baker's my number 5.
And she's cool. She's
I think
a good heel.
Out of the ladies, she's one of my favorite, or is my favorite.
She had a great promo, and it's like, what's going on with all these Whataburger faces?
Was that the Ruby Soho fucking promo?
No, before the pandemic. It's like there's a lot of confusion amongst these Whataburger chubby faces, and then, you know, she went off.
I don't remember that. I've probably seen it.
Let's do this.
I own everything on fucking AEW. Alright, dude. Would you accept $500,000, but every time you speak you have to rub your nipples?
Easily, yeah.
Well, that's fucking...
100%.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
It's a lot of things fucking...
I would gladly do that.
Yeah.
Have you done a walk of shame in the past year?
No, I live with my girlfriend. And it's been fucking pandemic.
No.
Is there a walk of shame for guys?
Yes.
I don't know if that exists, man. I don't know. I think that's just So you've done it before?
In my life, yes.
Oh, okay. Alright. That's fucking lame. I don't want to do that one. Have you ever thrown a drink in someone's face? That's not even a better one, but...
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
I have, yeah.
What was it about?
It was actually the Toronto Spider-Man who, Brad, you're a cock and you deserved it. So, yeah, they were giving out free samples of beer and I poured it on his fucking head. I was tired of his shit. You?
No, man. I feel like I've had some thrown in my face before at some point.
Let's do one. This one. Here we go. For $1 million, would you eat a live cockroach that randomly appears inside your mouth for a day for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
$1 million is $1 million. Where else am I gonna fucking get it?
I mean,
It's gonna be a cockroach in the
cockroach can't be that unhealthy.
That was cool. I like doing this. It was a lot of fun.
Let these people know where to get at you.
Find me the Alex Brovo on Instagram, Alex Brovo on Twitter, the Toronto Batman on Facebook when we start soon, and Alex Brovo on TikTok. And I'll have birthday show coming up 29th October at the Comedy Bar. I have a bunch of other shows, but then tomorrow at the Corner for a guest spot, which means I don't know if they'll book me again. But like we'll see. So and then I'll try to organize here, but I gotta do some stuff and all that. But yeah,
I really appreciate you coming up for round two, man.
Round two.
Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%, and by the Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys.
Buonanotte.
Peace the fuck out.
Ciao.